Well, hello. My name is Larry Skinner. I'm the Chief Operations Officer for FlexKom America, headquartered in Henderson, Nevada, just outside of Las Vegas, Nevada. And have to give us a disclaimer that anything you say or type into the text window on the side of the webinar. The webinar is to be basically the property of FlexKom, and we can repurpose that as we see fit. We'll be opening up the webinar in just a second here. Just need to clear a couple of things up. That is over at join.me. That's JOIN. period, and then M-E, like Mother Edward. And if you go there, the code that you're going to enter into that window that says Join Meeting and enter code, the code is FlexKom USA. If you just want to cut to the chase, then just type in join.me/FlexKom USA. And let's see, okay, we are open for business over there. So if you go to join.me/FlexKom USA, you'll see my desktop. And the first thing we're going to do is take a look at a customer account. And so the customer account, the way that you log in there, in fact, let me just pull up one more of these, and we'll do it this way. And we are recording this call, so what will happen is this recording will replace whatever recording was there before, and then we'll get all those recordings up into our YouTube channel. So that's the way that that goes. What we're going to do is kind of give you a shot at everything the way that it goes. Hold on for 1 second. Going to pause my screen here. You can see we have Larry Holcomb on the call, so I might bring him in here when we get over to the side where we're going back into the merchant back office, because he did such a great job before. Let's see here. There's one. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to unfreeze my screen. And just to first clear up that we will be having another webinar from Volker. We had some computer issues that stopped the webinar this morning, so there will be another one tomorrow, and you should receive an email about that pretty soon, and definitely no matter what, before the actual webinar starts. Just had a couple of technical issues with the actual service itself, but those should be cleared up by tomorrow. I'll be on a completely different computer, for example. All right, so I'll be looking for that tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, which makes it noon Eastern. You'll receive an email before that, and that's the Volker Weinig, the CEO of FlexKom America. He's doing a webinar, and he will be doing that pretty much every day for the next 29, 30 days. And when we're talking about that, I want to clarify that he had accidentally said that it was Monday to Sunday, but it's actually Monday to Friday, so 5 business days during the week. That's when that webinar will happen. Volker will host that 5 business days a week, so from Monday through Friday, and that's at 9 a.m. Pacific, which makes it noon Eastern. And I believe with the new services he's going to use, those will be archivable webinars. All right, so be looking for that, and that's tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. And before that, there's Bill Resides' conference call. He does that every morning. The blog talk, you definitely want to participate in that. We have a lot of support for you here. And we have Volker's call now for the next 30 days or so. And then we have the blog talk. That's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then we have this conference call here. That's at 6 p.m. Pacific. That's pretty much every weekday that I can pull it off where I'm not in a meeting or Skyping or something like that. So going forward, I'm going to try and have it every weekday for the foreseeable future. So you have 3 shows to support you from the corporate side. All right. So right now what we're going to talk about is how you get to log in for the customer account. And so over here at join.me/FlexKom USA, we're streaming my desktop. And for you folks that are new to FlexKom, or if you haven't been to your account in a while, we have you going to FlexKom.com. Your IP address will tell our servers back in Germany that you're in America, so it'll default to U.S. English. That's what you see when you're looking at our address up here in the upper left-hand corner. It says FlexKom.com/English-EN-US. That's because it knows that this computer is in the United States, and it is giving us then the American version of English by default. There's some features coming soon where each person logging into either the customer back office or logging into the merchant back office or logging into the partner back office, the DMR back office, will be able to choose what language their back office is in. We're working on that. That's one of those things that change that happened on June 1st. That's one of the things that had happened, where we went to a more robust system that could hold all these different changes and all these different settings by each individual. So in order for the customer to go and log into their account, Let me pull up my annotation tools here. They'll go to FlexKom.com. And then that's what this big login button here is for. So for you people who haven't been engaged for a while, if you're brand new, this login button up the upper right-hand corner, that is for the customers. So a customer will go to FlexKom.com, and then they're going to click on this login button in the upper right-hand corner. That's where they log in. So let's clear that out. I'm going to pause this because we have a cookie issue. They'll click on Login. And then once they get logged in, let's make sure that's working, and it is. They'll see something like this as a test account. So it'll say their name on this as well, but right now we're in a test account. They land in their dashboard. For a lot of you, this is the first time you've seen it inside of a customer account. The way that you log into your customer account is with your card number and your PIN code number. So as when you've kissed somebody, if you kissed like your wife, and probably should do that, or your husband, then they have a customer account and they can log in with their card number at FlexKom.com and their PIN code number. That's how they log in, or their email address and their PIN code number, and they can log in to their back office for their customer experience here. Now, this is exactly where the customers will be able to fine-tune their likes and dislikes for the messages that they'll receive. So the marketing that they'll receive, this is where they'll say that they only want to receive things about restaurants or about sporting goods stores or whatever. In this back office is where they'll make those selections. All right, so you land in the dashboard. We're just going to kind of go down the row here. The first thing is My Data. So you click on My Data. You have two options, one of them being personal data and the other one being PIN. If you click on PIN, it'll show you what your PIN code number is. If you click on personal data, then it will confirm your personal data. This one, like I said, is a test account, so there's no data in there, but this is where they would have their data, and they'd select their when they created their account, this is will just echo back the data that they gave, and they can make changes to fields that are non-critical for their account. For instance, as you can see here, they can't make a change to their email address. That's because their email address and their PIN code number their email address and their card number are things that are immutable. So they have to have the same card number and same email address and mobile number. And as you can see, they can't change the mobile number. They can't change the card number and so forth. That's because those have to be tied down so that their account is always associated with the person that they kissed. So if you're a partner and you've been kissing, this is what it looks like inside of their account. They can't change their card number, they can't change their email address, and they can't change their mobile number because that's what their account is built on. Those 3 points of data are what associates that customer with you as the partner. If you're a merchant watching this call, this is what this conference call and this webinar, this is what your customer sees. So kind of sit back, take notes. If you have any questions, please send an email to americansupport@flexkom.com. I'm not going to look at any of the text chats that are going on. I'll copy those and answer those at the beginning of the conference call tomorrow. So basically, we're going to kind of go with the procedure that we've used a couple of times where whatever texting is going on there, Larry Holcomb, I know, is in there, and so he'll try and answer questions, but I need to stay focused so we keep advancing through this and get all the way through this in the hour. I have a full hour today for you. I'm going to make sure that we go through this and through the merchant account as well, so the merchant back office. All right, so this is where they're under My Data. That's where their personal data is, and they can change some things like the first name, last name. Let's say it's a woman and she happens to get remarried and her last name changes. You could do that right in here. If they move to a different place, then they can change the street and so forth, but their email address and mobile number will stay the same. They have to go through some paperwork in order to change their mobile number. For instance, if their phone got hacked or lost or something, and they somehow lost their number, their mobile number, then there is a way to change it. It just has to be done with signatures, where the person saying it was actually changed. And nobody can change it for them. Only the customer can change data in their account, and only the customer will be able to sign forms to change data in that account. All right, so we're going to click on, now we're going to finance, and once again, the German-English thing, we're working on a way that none of this German will show up at all if you select American English, it'll always be in American English. If you select American Spanish, it'll always be in American Spanish. And if you select American French, for example, you live in Louisiana and you're Cajun or however you speak French, you're in the French Quarter. You're Mandarin Chinese and you live in California. There's whole areas where Mandarin is the language that's spoken in that whole neighborhood, and you want your back office to be in Mandarin, you'll have that ability coming soon. All right, so now we're going to go to finance. That's what this is in German. And under finance, you have two options. You have My Sales and Charge Account. Click on My Sales. And what this is showing you is this bonus that you get when when you're kissing to a partner or to a merchant that still has some QR codes. Then you get this 2 FlexCall dollars. It will soon say that these are FlexCall dollars instead of leaving them where it says USD. It's not US dollars. It's FlexCall dollars. They can only be used for the FlexCall feature. We'll go into some more detail on that down the road, but for right now, just know that that is what that 2 first monies that are on the Flex card are for the FlexCall feature. To not give you too much detail so we can keep moving forward, the FlexCall feature, in order to use it, requires that you have some money on it, but the next link that we'll look at is where you load money onto your Flex card, your FlexCall if you wanted, and the minimum that it could take is something like $99 US. And in order for you to use a free feature, you'd have to put $99 on it. That's not good. With this, you can use this free feature to call to another customer because we have the 2 FlexCall dollars on it. So in order to have that FlexCall feature that's free from phone to phone through Wi-Fi, for example, then you have to have some money on there, so that's why those FlexCall dollars are there. We'll have Germany change that to where it says FlexCall dollars. The amount is not US dollars. It's FlexCall monies. All right, so the next thing under finance is Charge Account. This is where you can load up your money onto your Flex call feature, for example. Right now, that's disabled because you can use your FlexCall feature right now. In the future, if you wanted to load dollars into your account to spend somewhere, that may be something that will be added here in that same part, in that Charge Account. All right, the next feature we have in the FlexKom Customer Back Office is the Flex app. Let's click on that. This is a classic example here. What this is saying is activate your Flex app in your back office, and basically this is saying you're going to get your card number and your Flex app PIN from here. We're going to click on this orange button here and do this. It should happen in real time, so let's do that and see what happens. So it's basically telling us that this account was created from a card. So we have to enter that number for the mobile number and the code, which is the PIN code. So I'm sorry, the code there that's referencing is our country code, which is +1. United States of America, and then the mobile number that's going to be associated with that card, and then they go through and get the actual 4-digit PIN, their permanent PIN going forward. That's because this particular account was created from a physical card. If it was an app, then all this data would already be in there. All right, so that's basically just creating the ability for this customer to kiss out. So what will happen there is because this was a card that created this account, we logged into it because we had the card number and we had the default PIN code number from that test situation there. We were able to create this back office and log into it, but in order to make it active where they can go and redeem, get some bonuses at a store, we'd have to go through these steps here and put in a mobile number. The one was not used there. And this code that we're going to see here is the static QR code. As you can see, it generated the static QR code. But that static QR code is not valid until we get a mobile number associated with this account. Now, as you see, this is a light back office. There's not a lot in here. There'll be more coming soon. Even the ability for the customer to log into this into their back office on their home computer, even a standard box computer, a tower. Desktop computer, as we used to call them, and use the map feature to, say, plan their outing when they go out around the city. They have a card, and of course on that card, that Flex card, for example, like this was created from a card, that Flex card does not have the ability by itself to show them the map of where there are merchants in their area or in Paris, France, or wherever they're planning on going. Their card will work, but how do they know where to go? Well, they'll have a map back in here where they'll be able to type in the city that they want to go to and use their card, and it'll have pins just like it does in your online on your phone Flex app. So that will be available to them online in their back office in case they have a card and they don't have any smartphone in their life at all. How can they see the map? They go into their back office and they can see the map there. So that's coming soon. All right, I'm going to freeze my screen. Where are we at on this? We're at 6:16. We only have a few people on this call, just about 19, 20 people, but that's fine. Small meeting here. All right, so now we are going to go into the next thing we want to go into is the back office for the partners. I'm sorry, for the merchants. So still doing this. Hold on. Just, moving through some screens here. Oh, maybe it's here. Hold on. There it is. All right, I'm freezing my screen. All right, and so for you, those of you who just joined us on the phone call, we are streaming my desktop at join.me/FlexKom USA. That's /FlexKom USA. And so now what we're showing is the back office for that test account that we show. This is the merchant test account, that ID number 4351. So when you're logging in there and doing test transactions, you can actually see them here. They only stay active for a few days. This one goes all the way back to July 6th. But soon July 6th will fall off. And so when you guys are doing your test accounts, your test transactions and so forth, that's what these are here. That's why they have such large amounts here. People are doing tests all the time. And we'll just go through the color key here. And in fact, I'm going to go into the text here real quick and look. If Larry Holcomb, if you want to join me on to go through this merchant back office, go ahead and type into the okay, so Larry wants to join us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to condition the lines, and we need to just have Larry come on because Larry has he looks at this from 3 points of view. Not only is he a partner like you, he's also a merchant. He owns a store, and he's also a customer. So we're going to bring Larry on, and just hold on for one moment. Okay, so what we want is for just Larry Holcomb, only Larry Holcomb, to hit star and then 6.
I'm here, Larry.
All right, Larry. Thank you for coming on, Larry.
I didn't get on last night. I had hernia surgery last Friday, so I've been down for a few days. I'm just now getting back.
Goodness. Well, we all want speedy recovery and everything like that, and take her easy, okay?
Oh, thank you. I just want to get off the pain pills, and I did that yesterday, so I can think again.
I know what you mean. Well, speedy recovery, continued recovery, and like I say, take it easy.
Thanks. I've got my back office pulled up, so we can't talk about it, but I can explain from it. Okay.
Okay, and you can give us, because I mean this is you talking and not Larry, COO, talking. If you want to give examples like you've done before, we can definitely. That's no problem. Doesn't violate any rules that our lawyers have told us about. So.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're looking at the dashboard, and this is what you see when you first log into, what a merchant will see when they first log into their back office. This gives them kind of a snapshot of what's going on. That chart at the bottom tells them the light blue part is their purchase value of their transactions. The dark, I always call it dark blue, but people tell me it's black. I think it's dark blue. That's the flex monies. And then because this is a test account, you can't see the commissions that they will have garnered from the people that they kissed going out and doing business at other merchants or even that same merchant. But because this is a test account, you can't see those commission dollars. But go ahead, Larry, and kind of explain that chart a little bit.
Well, it's just when a merchant first pulls up their back office account, it just gives them a quick overview of the purchase price, the total value that they've given dollars paid Flex monies out to. That's the FlexKom and the customers. And then the green line would be the commission. The black line is the part paid to FlexKom. So it just gives you a quick overview. And I love it because you can go on further into finance, and it gives all the breakdown in more definite details.
Yeah, with the merchants that we have in these test situations, we've been talking about this, that we're working pretty much around the clock, especially if you count the international teams and legal teams and merchants that we're working with to basically make sure that we've crossed every T and dotted every I on this opportunity. When you're looking at this, it's a very robust data that the merchant gets. So when the legal teams from each state has looked at this, they're like, you don't hide anything from the merchant. The answer is no. They can see everything.
That's true. And they see how much going to FlexKom, how much they paid in sales, what their commission paid back is, the amount paid back, and even when they deduct money from the merchant's account for the dollars given out, it actually deducts their commissions off, so they don't even have to pay it and double time it. I mean, they don't have to. It actually deducts commissions you've got coming in, so you don't have to pay it out and get it back the next day. It's already taken off. I think that's amazing.
It is, and when you look at, a lot of folks, when the merchant first comes in here, they try to compare us to like MasterCard or Visa and how transactions are done in MasterCard, Visa, and we're nothing like them. Our transactions are very secure, and the amount of data that your terminal is exposing is so incredibly minimal, especially compared to, say, a MasterCard machine. It's not even worth talking about because we're very secure compared to them.
I tell them we're ahead of the curve. They're going to have to catch up with us. I mean, that's how much we are advanced than MasterCard and Visa.
Absolutely. Volker and Peter also, whenever they're doing a big talk at a big event, and definitely Asker, when they talk about how the MasterCards and the Visas would love to be in the position that we're in, where we're deploying these terminals with this technology, they wish that they could do something like we can, but they can't. The overhead for them to try and catch up with us is just tremendous. It's their own success has kind of built a wall for them where they won't be able to catch up with us for a while. So, and
then they have to share it with their competitors too, which would be Discover and American Express. So it's hard for them to do.
Do they really want to help them?
They're going to be chasing us soon, I think.
Pretty soon, yeah. We're definitely showing up on their radar, so they'll be wishing they were us pretty darn soon. All right, so we're going to go to the next. Let's see. Actually, under dashboard, there are a couple of things there. So under dashboard, it's my data. We're going to click on that, and this is the data. This is test data, as you can see. But the merchant would have their data in there, and they have some power to change things. Control number, just so we can clarify that, that's the tax ID number. So we're going to get that fixed to where in America it says control/tax ID number, or it just says tax ID number. And then for the, if you notice, their email address is not in here, and they can't change that because that's one of the pins. Anytime you have a relational database, you have to have data that never changes. And so that's one of the things that we can change it, but we have to change it manually on the servers in Germany, and that's why you don't see it here as a field that they can manipulate, because it's one of the bedrocks, one of the foundations that their account is built on. All right, so let's go here. Password change is password change. That we don't need to really go through that. So we're back at the dashboard. Next, we'll go to customer. What customer is where these are the customers associated with this terminal. And so, Larry, you had some great stories about this. Go ahead.
Oh, well, the customer, yeah. I've looked now. We're pushing 90 for my store. And our business is beginning to slow down. We're in the garden business, so we're busy in April, May. So we'll be slow till about October and pick up again. But we're still giving out 1 to 2 to 3 apps a week. And in October, I presume we'll hit 500. By next spring, we should be pushing, 1,500 by the end of next spring. So the apps are so easy to give out. It takes just less than a minute. The cards are just as easy to give out. You take a card number, go to the main office, like we were looking at a while ago for the customer. In the middle of the screen, it says card activation. You go in and activate a card. It takes a couple of minutes to activate a card. So it's very easy to give an app out where you activate a card, and when you do that, they're your customer for life.
Absolutely. So it's spot on easy.
Yeah.
That's
at the bottom of the customer list, you can send an email to anybody. That's what I like. Because we're already seeing, me and my merchants are already sending emails out. When you get 100 people that you can contact, that's a good start. I mean, we're looking at 1,000 soon, but 100 is a lot of people to send out to that I haven't been able to send to them before.
Yeah, so when you're talking about this to the average merchant, they have never done an email campaign before in their lives. They're like, oh, I contact this, and constant contact. Oh my God, I have to do this and I have to manage that. This is all in that same account. They have the ability to send out an email to an individual, to several individuals, or to the entire list. It's amazing. So that's this button down here.
And I have two of my merchants that were doing the punch cards for buy one or buy 10 and you get something free. They've eliminated that already and said, yeah, if you want a discount, let me give you an app. And they've done that, and they see the benefits of that. They've given their punch cards out, and then they stopped that, and they've stopped their fishbowl that used to have where people would put their business card in. So they've already eliminated that.
Fishbowl, yeah. See, that fishbowl never worked. I mean, so you get a discount on a soda on your birthday. What is that? Why would you come in except for on your birthday?
Let me give you an app and you get a discount every day. They like that a lot better.
Every day. It's crazy good. So that's what we're looking at in that field there. So we'll clear that up, and then let me make sure I got to that. Yeah, I did. So that's the send to all button down there, and then what a lot of people are doing there is that they're making in Microsoft Word or something. They're making basically a little announcement, or they're just using the email client itself and making a little text announcement, but you can attach things to it like an image, and that could be like your menu or something. So there's all kind of ways to use this right now. Future uses of this will be innumerable. There's going to be all kind of ways that this part of the tool will be useful. Would also be in the areas where SMS marketing, text marketing is allowed. This would be where that would happen as well. You'll have another button.
My merchants are always sending out specials of the day with emails because everybody has email on their phone now. We were looking forward still to the text messaging, but everybody now looks at their emails on their phone. A lot of them have email alerts when they go off, so they're sending out specials with their emails to let them know what the special is, if it's a food item or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is such an incredibly useful tool already, and it's going to be more useful down the road. We've already talked on this conference call a couple of times about the labyrinth concept, and if you've seen Asker, you've heard it, and Peter Gunevald as well, and Volker, they've all talked about the labyrinth principle. Well, that's going to be something that's going to be looking at the data that each customer. We're looking at the customer back office. They'll be looking at that customer data there and making basically heuristical assumptions based off that, plus where the person is. So if it knows the customer's from France and they happen to be in Las Vegas, for example, it's going to, in the labyrinth concept, and they go into a bagel shop or something here, it's going to know that they're from France in Vegas. They're probably on vacation. If we have a couple of shows that are in the opportunity at that time, then it would throw up show discounts and things like that. So it would know who they are, what they like, where they are, and make assumptions about what they're doing, where they happen to be, and give them information that will entice them to shop with another merchant in that area, that zone where they are. All right, so we're going to go to the next one. That's the customer link. This one might cause a cookie issue, so I'm going to freeze my screen here. We're going to go to finance, but I'm going to have to freeze my screen because I don't know what will happen here. And we're going to go to sales and see what happens. Okay, it worked. All right, so I went to finance and then sales, and so now we're in the sales part. Now this is a test account. This is a test account from a little while ago, so it's not going to have some of the features that you have in your merchant back office. So go ahead and kind of give us the overview here.
I have 7 pages of sales in mine. As you notice, it gives you pages you can follow every sales back. And my first sale at its look was April the 17th. And actually it was to my wife when we first turned our machine on. But after that, we started giving out that same day sales to customers immediately and started giving out apps. I think the first day we gave out 15 apps in the springtime, which was amazing to me. But the apps went so fast. And I would just ask someone, can I give you an app? And they'll say, sure, even before they know what it is. And you tell them, well, I'm going to give you the only app in the world that pays you cash back. And then they say, oh, I want that for sure. And on your sales, it tells you the purchase price, the flex monies, and 5%, which is what I'm giving away, and the FlexKom share. And on the right, it says status, say released, which means that money's already given to the customer. and to FlexKom, and it happens in real time. That's what's amazing.
It is, and it also goes up to the upline in real time as well.
In real time, yes. You could go to my back office and see it, me as a FlexKom person, and to the gentleman that signed me on, which he's a sales manager, and the Bill resides would sign him on, which is, I don't know what Bill is now, other than he's the country director, right?
Country director,
but,
yeah.
I mean, you can see it on everybody's upline. They got commission off of my sale. It's amazing. We've given out we sold several $1,000s worth and given out several $100s worth of commissions already, and I'm seeing commissions coming back. And I'm already seeing commissions coming back from my customers starting to shop in the small network that I built up as a FlexKom person. Some of the other 8 stores that I signed up, which are in my area, so I'm seeing my customers now shopping otherwise. So I'm getting commissions back besides my own business now.
Awesome. So, I mean, the resiliency of this, the speed of the transactions, all of the servers we have our own cloud in Germany. Basically, all the transactions go up, they communicate with the cloud, and the transactions come back. Even when you're generating a QR code for a particular sale from your terminal at a merchant store, all that goes up to the cloud, and then the data comes back very, very quickly. It's amazing how fast these things process.
Yeah, that is amazing, coming from Germany back to here, and it all happens in real time. I mean, I can see results off of my almost 90 customers, and I believe within a very close future, I'll have over 1,000 from my 8 businesses. In the very near future, I'll be pushing 10,000 by cold weather at the least.
Awesome. This is fantastic. And once again, we have to preface this by saying this is Larry's opinion about the growth of his business, but he's been in for a while. He's got 7 merchants under his belt. And so when you're listening to his projections on his business, it's pretty well-founded data here.
Hey,
all right,
Larry.
All right, so we're going to go next to, I think we already did we do commissions? No, we didn't. All right, so here's commissions.
Yeah.
So under finance, and now we're doing commissions. And then go ahead and kind of run this down for us, please.
And the commissions, when I look at my back, because it tells me the customer, the date, the customer name, and the place it shopped. It usually tells the city, and that's when I can tell my customers shopping other places. The purchase price, the commission in cents, confirmed, and then it says it's settled, which means that commission is already paid. So I can see my customers shopping in other areas around me because they'll have a different city name, so I know they're shopping in other locations. And you can see that even in my back office when I look it up. I see my KTM. When I look under my KTM merchants, I can see exactly where they shopped at. That's the commissions part, and it's very self-explanatory when you look at it. After you've seen your first one, and you can click on the pages and look at every one of them's happened. One thing that worries me, I need a bigger roll bar on my mouse because I'm going to have to roll down for thousands of pages. But I like that, so that's money in my pocket.
Yes, it is.
And trust,
absolutely.
Yeah, I like my Visa card's getting loaded, my savings account and my checking account's getting loaded. Every time I hit that button, it says pay dividend or pay commission.
Awesome. And it's the beautiful thing is, and we want to cover this on the Bill Resides blog talk on Monday. We had the great honor to have Jean Mullins on there. She's the co-CEO of FlexKom America with Volker Weinig, and she was running down the what we're doing for macro compliance for all of the United States of America. So once again, our leadership here in FlexKom America is not like previous administrations where we're going to speculate or anything. We go through and we cross every T, dot every I. That's when we'll come out in writing and say what things are and how we're moving. So we want to make certain that people know that right now customers are collecting these loyalty bonuses here, and then we'll finalize the tectonics that tectonics is a good term because it's big, giant things we have to do here in the background to make sure everything works. It's a lot of dealings with lawyers and attorneys generals and all this to work out. Like one of the things that we have to do that we wanted to do, but we have to do it now in order to be compliant in one of these states. One of the states says, well, in order to be compliant, you have to put everybody that is in the opportunity into your daily email list. and so that they get announcements when they happen in real time. So if you haven't added yourself to our email list, then we're going to add the email address that you created when you signed up, that you gave us when you signed up and created your account. We're going to drop that into our contact list. And please, just if you don't receive these sometimes the daily emails, then just use the unsubscribe option and just unsubscribe. Don't click on do not contact, because then we can't contact you anymore from our bulk email system. And definitely don't click on spam, because to be compliant, and we talked about this, to be compliant in one area, in all areas, we're going to apply the most stringent rules that exist in America. So I'm not going to go and say which state it is that said we had to do it, but one of the states said that we have to have every single person that signed up as a partner, we have to put them into our daily email list. So we're going to do that. You'll receive an email once that happens saying you've been added to this list. And if you don't want to receive these, it's within your right to opt out, but please only use the unsubscribed option. When you click on unsubscribe, you'll see three options. One is unsubscribe from this list, which means that you'll no longer be on the daily email list. The second option is do not contact, which means we can't use that bulk email system to contact you ever again. And the third is spam, which by the rules of this one state, we're not spamming you. When you sign up for any opportunity, they said in their state you have to, by their rules, not a law, but by their rules, you have to be at least given the option of receiving the daily emails. So we're going to do that. It'll take us a couple of weeks to do it, but like Gene has said in that conference call on Monday on the Blog Talk, we're going down every single state, every attorney general, every major city. We're going through and making sure that we're not only compliant with the laws and complicit with the laws, but we're talking about their rules and their regulations and just their the way that they do business. So one of the regions said that they want us to have everybody be on this daily email list. So we're going to do that. And please, if you don't want to get it every day, just opt out by saying opt out of this list. Don't opt out. Don't say do not contact or spam. If you have any questions about that, please send an email to americansupport@flexkom.com. Once again, in order to be compliant, we're going to have to add you to this list, effectively the American FlexKom America INC list. That we're going to have to add you to that so that you can receive notifications when they happen, and that's just so that we're compliant in every single state. Hope you understand that.
I think if they're in FlexKom, they need to be getting that every day. I look forward to getting news every day, Larry. I was impressed with FlexKom in December when I spent money to go to Vegas, and FlexKom had a back office with 4 items in it, and nobody knew what FlexKom was. They spent several hours on the meeting we went to in October going over compliance. We are going to be compliant now and in the future, and I was very impressed with FlexKom. So some of the delays we have now that everybody keeps questioning, it's not FlexKom's problem. It's compliance with American laws, and that's what's holding up a lot of the things that we've been looking forward to. And FlexKom is working hard at it, so everybody please be patient. They're just trying to work through laws in 50 different states.
Thank you for that, Larry, because, I mean, here's the funny part about that email compliance thing. We actually went to the method where we're not that we didn't put everybody in the email list automatically, because that's what I'm not going to pull out the state and section them out here, but they told us to not put people in there, to have them opt in. So they were the ones that told us not to do it, and now they're coming back saying, oh, you know what, have everybody in there and have them opt out. It's like, oh, great. Well, you told us the exact opposite. But you know what, we're going to do it. So it's just funny how they looked at it, and then they're saying, oh, well, we want yours is a dynamic company, and you need to include everybody that's in this opportunity into everything, because things change. And so now they've turned around and said, okay, you got to have everybody in, and they can opt out if they want. So the exact opposite of what they said 9 months ago is what we'll do. All right, so we were at commissions, and now we're going to go to cash back. Go ahead and explain this, because this one, oops, we timed out here. Hold on for a second. Let me log back in here. All right, and then cash back. There we go. All right, and back in action here. All right, there we go. All right, so now we logged back in, and we went back to finance, and now we're under finance and then cash back. And just so you saw there, that was if the merchant is inactive on their screen for a while, it will time them out because for security reasons. So just know that that's something that that the merchants will actually like. If they walked away from their computer while they were in their FlexKom back office, they don't have to worry it's going to shut itself down after a couple of minutes. So, all right, so go ahead and talk about cashback, please, Larry.
Okay, cashback is when customers are able to come in the near future and pay with their smart money, which is going to happen quickly. That will show up in the merchant's account here, and it also will flow back into the merchant's checking account. Just like my commissions coming in or going straight through my ACH, going back to my checking account when it reaches the maximum.
So it's straightforward, it's simple, and once again, absolute disclosure, the merchant can see so much data. We have not gotten any negative feedback from any of the merchants, and the merchants that even months ago came in and saw this when it was in a more skeletal form. They were impressed with what we were looking to give, the data we were looking to give. All right, so now we're in finance, and then we are on accounts, and we're on billing overview. So kind of give us a quick rundown there, please.
This just tells you when they're taking money out of your checking account to build your float back up to the maximum you've chosen. I've already had 4 settlements on my account, and it's very straightforward. It tells you exactly how much. You can look on the details. It tells you all the details about it, and I love it because FlexKom is so transparent. They show you everything. There's nothing to be hidden. So if you want to show it to if I want to show a merchant my back office, which I can't because I'm a retailer, there's nothing to be hidden at all. FlexKom is very transparent.
That's fantastic. And then the other option under billing, under accounts, and then billing, well, actually under accounts is new invoice. And so go ahead and run this down real quick.
Which one, Larry? Under, I only have accounts.
Under new invoice. This is basically where you're showing the money coming in. So that was the billing overview was the outgo, and this is the income.
Yeah.
Well, that's basically it. I just did it. So it's the income.
Yeah, and also on the accounts, you also have the ability to print that out if you want to show that to your accountant, or if you want to take that back, compare it back to your checking account, you can print out the details so you can tell exactly where the money has come out of your account. So everything's printable. You don't have to copy and paste. It's just printable right off the screen, too. Okay,
and somebody has unmuted themselves. Please hit *6 again for the person that just did it, and mute yourself, or I'll do it for you. But somebody accidentally came back in there, so hopefully, there we go. Sounds like they stopped. Okay. Okay, hold on for one moment. All righty then. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next column, which is management. And then we have My Stores. So if you want to run that down real quick.
My Stores is when you first register a merchant after you got your signed agreement and your signed W-9 form, you would go to the front page of FlexKom and register them. And you do that, and this is where it shows up as new store. At a new store, you would just put in the one store they have, unless it's like a franchise or a restaurant which has 2 or 3 chains. Then you have under that 2 or 3 other stores. But when you get to this point here, all that's done on the registration. So the only option here you really need to go worry about is edit. You just go to edit, and that will be able to change your discounts, your percentages. All that's under this area right here.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going to go into edit real quick. Hold on for a moment.
They've got a new map on here. That's awesome. I didn't see that. There's a map on my back office. I guess you can change your pinpoint to move. Oh, you can. Oh, how neat. Oh, I'm excited about that. I've got 2 merchants that are sitting on top of each other, and they're actually 90 feet apart, which is not a lot, but now I can separate those 2. I'm excited about that.
Awesome. So, yeah, this is a change from the last time we even did this tutorial, by the way.
It is.
Yep.
So what we're talking opening about. Times on you? Has the opening times been corrected yet?
The opening times, let me go down there. Hold on for a second. Let me take a look at that. All right, so what we're talking about, just so you folks that weren't on the other conference call, is that on June 1st, we made some changes to make the back offices, each of the 3 back offices, more resilient, and this is one of the offshoots of that, one of the reasons why, so that this mapping that you're seeing here can occur. All right, so I'll turn that back into a cursor, and let's go.
So when we read, yeah, go ahead, Larry.
It's still not. I wanted to drop down, so we'll see if they get to that. That's one of the things we've been talking about. So.
Okay. I love the math, though. Now we can pinpoint. I've got merchants that are real close together beginning to sign up, so I can separate them slightly there and make them show up on the map a little better. So I like that a lot. That's great.
It's awesome. Now here, this is one of the critical things, that when you're signing up your merchants, this is where you're going to give your discounts. Discount 1. Discount 2, a lot of times if it's blank, you want to go and select 0. You don't. Basically, the system is not pulling from discount 2. Discount 2 is a special discount that you can make a secondary discount for, say, a holiday or something like that. Right now, that field is not being used, but you have to have some data in it. And sometimes when the merchant first goes in here, it's blank, and you need to select from the drop-down something, at least 0. But no matter what you put in there, it's not going to actually pull from that. It's only pulling from discount 1, okay?
Okay, good. So that's good. So this is actually changed. So this is where you change your discount right here.
That's right. So, yeah, this used to be a flat. Yeah, well, the map has now changed.
Another page.
Yeah.
I like that a lot better. Oh, much more user-friendly.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Well, we're listening to what folks like yourself say, and making it more obvious what you're doing and why you're doing it, in the giving you a good order and a good flow for it.
Great. I like the improvements. That's amazing.
Yeah, and the nice thing, here's the proof. That is exactly where our offices are, and we talk about this from time to time. But these offices are open offices for you, the partner. Come on in, even if you're a merchant, especially if you're a merchant. Come on by and say hi to us. Right now, we're kind of in all hands mode for shipping, so we'll be running around like crazy. But we definitely want you to come by if you're in Vegas, Henderson. We're just off the 215 and Green Valley Parkway, as you can see right here, and so the strip is just over here a little bit, maybe about 7, no more than 10 miles, as a crow flies, but it's about 10 minutes from the middle of the strip to here on a good day. So definitely come by the office, and that's exactly where we are. There's the Green Valley off-ramp. This is that, claim jumpers. Everybody that's been around Vegas more than once has seen that claim jumpers by the 215 freeway. So that's what we're right in that same parking lot right next to Vegas.com. And so it's very easy to get to. All the cabbies know exactly where we're at, and we want you to come by the office. We have visitors just about every day now, so come on by. All right, so let's keep going down here. These are our office numbers down there. And when you're talking about the descriptions of the product, can you just go over that? Because your description last time, your explanation of what to do here was fantastic.
Well, the long description I originally put in about my business when I started and all that, but I've actually started putting my products and prices in there. So customers, I get so many phone calls a day. What time do you close? What time do you close? I've been in business for 30 years. So you can put that in the opening times, which is working real soon. So I actually put in my long description. I put my phone number and my number phone number. I put my opening times. Started listing my prices of 37 products, and I've got them listed there, getting ready to list them in the near future. And I tell merchants, I said, you can put a special right there, and it'll show up on a phone within 2 seconds all over the world. And I can show them on my phone how quick that is. Because sometimes I will show my back office on a rare occasion. But to sell, somebody had a question about showing a back office to a merchant. I've never shown one to all 8 that I've signed up. I signed up all 8 by just showing my app and ask them if they have a customer retention program. And that gets the question started, and I'll display the app. And when you display the app, the benefits and the advantages of it, I never show them a terminal. I never tell them about the back office. That's just more fruit for the pudding, as they say, when you get there and start putting the terminal in. And they are amazed at all the items that you can do with the back office, putting the pictures in so easily. It's just like downloading to a Craigslist picture. It's real easy. And they really get it when you start explaining it with that. And so all I ever display is just my iPhone, and sometimes I have a loyalty card from Panera Bread to show them what a loyalty rewards program is. But, the long description, the driving directions, we're close to a freeway, so I give the exit number and very simple directions from there. And I told you, one of my customers, he met somebody coming from freeway 200 miles away and stopped at their business because of their FlexKom app and found them from the directions on their app.
Nice. And I love what you just said about the way that you market and the way that you got these merchants, because we have all kind of people saying, well, I need this and this and this and this before I could close a merchant. The people who are closing the merchants aren't using that. The people who are closing the merchants successfully are not the ones who are taking the terminal out and bringing it to them to try and demo before, as part of their presentation to get them to sign. They're doing exactly as you're doing, Larry, where they show them the app and they talk about it. They show them the bulky, old-fashioned cards, real cards, and they get it, and then they want it, and then just like you're saying, the successful partners are only touching that terminal, taking it out of his box and charging it the night before, so that when they take it into that merchant, it is charged, and that's it. They don't use the terminal as a marketing tool because they don't want it to get all scratched up or drop it or give it any opportunity to get rained on or anything like that. They treat it like the money-making machine it is. And that's the best practice. Also, when you're talking about, we kind of jumped down here and we're talking about the pictures. In the pictures, it is best practice to have the very first picture be exactly what that business looks like from the outside, right there from the street.
I agree with that, yeah. So it's visual recognition. That's what I do that for them. I actually download 10 pictures in their back office. When it's pulled up, it's ready to go, and I show them how easy it is to change. But that's the first picture I put on is the one from the street, so people can visually see it.
And then we had talked about, say, a restaurant. The second picture might be the menu or the picture of the number one meal for the day or the blue plate special or something. But that very first picture should be the picture that somebody's going to see when they're trying to drive to the place. So that, like you say, visual recognition, it'll pop in their mind. They got it. The next, you don't want to have we had one person who had. I forget how many pictures, but it was way too many pictures. It was like 20 pictures or something like that. It's my opinion that you don't want to have more than, say, 5 or 6 pictures at the most, because you want people to be able to kind of get the idea of where it's at, get the idea of the menu or a couple of items or something, but having a whole bunch of pictures there, 30 pictures or whatever. What's your opinion on that?
I usually load up to 10. Usually an idea from 5 to 8 is my idea. The first one is the visual picture from the storefront that you can see from the road. The second one, everybody has in a restaurant or a coffee shop. They usually have a chalkboard and they put up the special for the day. I tell them make that second picture of that and change it on a regular basis. So people will go to their app. Everybody has their phone. They're going to flip it up. And most of these places have regulars that come in on a regular basis. I mean, we're all about getting new customers and new business, but the regulars that are coming in, they want to know what the special is today. So just put that as your second picture on a regular basis, and people will start looking at that more often. And trust me, everybody's worried about this. But when you show the terminal for the first time, it is so simple. There's no use demonstrating it. The back office is so simple. My merchants get it within about 2 applications, and I love going out now, and there's new things. I can't wait to go back and show my merchants the new back office. They've probably already seen it, but I go back and say, hey, did you see this? Oh, yeah, I saw that. And I've had people call me today. I've had, out of all my merchants, a couple of them I called and checked on me because they knew I was having surgery, because I go by and visit them at least twice a week, keep them interested in, and they're giving out like crazy. So where the naysayers are now, I don't know, other than it is causing problems for the rest of us, because this is a great opportunity for us, and it's actually saving small merchants like my own.
Right on. Just real quick over the categories for the types of business. We're adding more categories. If you have any suggestion of categories that you haven't seen when you're helping your merchant, we take those, we send those over to Germany. Germany has to manually program those into the system, and also they have to vet them and decide that they want to do it. So we take your suggestions, and we definitely send it over there. So don't think that we're ignoring you. We take your suggestion and we send it to the engineers over there in Germany, and then they decide whether they're going to do it. And even if they decide that they're going to do it, it takes a little while to get it in there.
Oh, great. Thank you, Frank. I'm glad to hear that.
Okay, so let me, we're kind of coming up on the hour here, so let me clear this out. And I can see that people are texting and so forth. Well, like I say, take the questions and we'll answer those tomorrow on the housekeeping part of the conference call tomorrow, and then we'll try and go for some Q&A on the phone tomorrow. All right, so we were at stores. All right, so let's just go quickly to card activation. We have the card activation. This particular card activation is for when in Flex Order over here, we'll talk about that in just a second, but in Flex Order, that's where the merchant will be able to order more cards, physical cards. So when they get that shipment of physical cards from Flex Order, this will be where they activate those. So I just want to have that clarification from our last tutorial. I didn't quite cover that right. I just want to make sure I made that clear. So that first card activation, that is for when you have the merchant just get some brand new cards and they want to activate them. All right, then we're going to go to My Cards. And what this is, you want to do this one, Larry? Or?
I was replying to a message there. But okay. The card is where you activate your 100 cards. You put in your, what is it called, Larry? Or this individual card you're looking at, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is the individual card readout. So this is basically going to show you the cards that you have already activated. So this field is not as important as when we had the customer field where it shows the email and all that. This is just another place to see where your cards are deployed and their status.
I see where, in the card activation, it shows you, or it says My Cards, it shows you all 100 cards. When I look at mine, it tells me which cards I've given out, the ones that are activated, the ones that are still, let's see, I think it says they're still open. This card is free, it says.
It says free or open, and then it says,
the other one says this card has already been activated by a customer, and I'm giving them out 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, about 22 cards already. And the cards are real quick and easy to activate.
That's awesome. Just keep up the great work. And now we're going to go to the next one under management because we're going to go a little bit over the hour in order to get through this. But the POS activation, let's go to that. This is where you're activating your terminal. So you're a merchant, you have your terminal in your store, and now you're going to put in the packet number, which in this case is actually the serial number. We'll get that to say serial number soon. That's the serial number, and then you just take any one card and put that card number in there from that 100 cards that come in that packet, and then you just click More. So that's part of the procedure, but before you do that, you have to put that POS in that store, and so this is where you do that. I had a couple of emails over the past few days where people received the POS terminal back in 2013. So those who have the POS 3 terminal, now that America is in Phase 3, we have to get you some software updates for that. We'll get you that procedure coming soon. But for the most part, everybody that's on this call, if you're a VIP, you're getting a 4S terminal. If you are KTM, 4S terminal again. So you're going to use this upper section here. And so when the 4S terminal is entered here, months down the road when the 5S, the 6S, 7S terminal, whatever, they're going to be up here in this section. Only the POS 3 is in this section. Okay, and for you folks, when you do get the power to go into this back office, because I'm lobbying for you guys to have that, but I need you to really not do anything that we tell you to not do. You do not want to add your terminal to this test account. You don't. You will void all your cards. They will immediately be useless, and it's going to you'll be charged a fee by Germany to have an engineer go in and manually extricate your terminal from this test account. So with test accounts, you never, ever add your terminal to that test account, especially not this 4351 account. You don't want to do it. You will purge your cards and you cannot recover them. So this is where that would be added in a real situation where you have a real merchant and they're signing the real paperwork and setting up a real ACH account. When it's real, that's when you're going to add your terminal to it, when you have all signed paperwork. All right. Anything you want to add there, or you want to jump to the next one?
No, I'm sorry. No, I agree with that, Larry. That about the new POS terminals, that would be if they had another franchise business or add another business to their line of business. Is that correct?
That's right. And so let's say that you had a store. We always use Gillies. I always use Gillies as an example. Gillies has effectively 5 different stores under one giant roof. They have the rodeo. They have the swag store where you get the Gillies rope and the Gillies belt buckle. They have a couple of bars and so forth. They're going to add several terminals in each place because if you've ever been to Gillies, it is a zoo of wonderful activity, live show section as well. So they're going to have, in that case, probably 5 different stores under that one roof, and then several terminals in each of those stores. So that's just a way for, if it's a chain also, if it's a chain of, say, shoe stores, small mom-and-pop chain. They got 2 stores or 3 stores. They'll have each one of those 3 stores in that other screen that we're in, and then they'll go into each of those stores. They'll add these terminals, and so that's how that works. For the average person, the average partner is going to be working with a merchant that only has 1 store and probably 1 terminal in that store. They'll just add that POS equipment here, and then they allocate it out in the other screen.
Yes, right? That's correct.
All right, and so that's that. So now we only have 2 more columns to go through. Others is right now just the refer customers. So you can see refer customers. That's the static QR code. If we're just talking about a merchant who has more than 1 store, each of those stores is kissing out the exact same static QR code, so they can print once and distribute to all their different stores. In that Gillies example that we gave, you don't have to worry about each terminal giving out a different QR code. Every terminal is giving out that same QR code. So that's one thing we wanted to clarify from that other conference call that we had. There's the same static code in each of those terminals and here in this back office as well. All right, and that kind of works just like it does in the partner back office, so we won't go into detail here. And then the last thing is coming soon, the Flex Order. And this is where the merchant will, say, purchase their own terminal. That's where this will happen, is right in here. Also, if they want to buy more cards, physical cards, this is where they'll do that. There'll also be some marketing materials back in here as well, say the door sticker where it's got the glue on the side where the paint is, and so they put that on their door. So looking through a glass door, you can see the FlexKom logo and so forth. All those things, if they want to order additional tints for their tables, that'll all be in here in their online store.
That's great. The cards are going to come out just about the right time because in a few weeks I can see some of my customers giving out all the cards. And yet in the near future, cards will be a thing of the past when we get everybody gets a smartphone too.
Absolutely. The smartphone penetration is going to get to like the 90s, 98, 100% pretty soon. Because for the cell phone service provider's point of view, old-fashioned flip phones are just a headache and a bandwidth eater, whereas these new smartphones, you'd think that they eat up more bandwidth, but they actually don't. They're actually substantially so much more efficient than an old-fashioned flip phone that the savings that you're getting in the speed and the small needs for bandwidth are it's a great savings. So they're going to basically say, if you're on a flip phone, you have got to move. You're costing us to keep you around. So that's going to happen soon. All right, so we are over the hour, but we definitely
thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Larry Holcomb. It's always a great pleasure to have you on here. Your real-world experience is fantastic. Your enthusiasm for this opportunity is unrivaled. For everybody that was texting in, we'll take a look at that. And for the things that Mr. Holcomb or other partners answered, I will not really answer those unless it's something I think it would be a good thing to cover on the housekeeping part of tomorrow's conference call. But in general, with these text messages, we don't want it to take us off point. As you can see, it took us an hour to effectively get through each of those, both of those back offices. We don't want to have the webinar part be distracted by the questions. If there's, in general, like if we do something where we're doing a webinar and there's time at the end of the hour to do the Q&A, then first we'll look through the text messages, or we'll go online and take the Q&A from the phone. All right, so we will see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Volker's, well, the first thing you're going to have tomorrow will be the blog talk. Bill Resides blog talk, because tomorrow is a Wednesday, so he's going to do a live blog talk then. And then the next thing will be Volker Weinig, our CEO. He is going to do his webinar from starting at 9 a.m. Pacific. That's noon Eastern. And then the third show of the day on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the next 30 days, you're going to have 3 shows to keep you informed. The 6 p.m. show is going to happen tomorrow. We will make it a webinar unless something comes up and my computers are all tasked. But otherwise, we're planning to have that be a webinar, and we'll do a Q&A webinar where you ask the questions, and I'll take you on a tour after we do the housekeeping. All right, so once again, Larry, thank you for being on this conference call. You are an invaluable source of data and information.
Well, thank you for your help, Larry. I appreciate it.
And we appreciate you, and we appreciate everybody else that's on this conference call. Thank you very much for being on this call. Tell everybody in your organization to come to those 3 conference calls that we talked about. 2 of them are webinars tomorrow, so join us. We are trying our best to stay engaged with you on a regular basis, on a daily basis. So really, once again, I'm Larry Skinner, the COO of FlexKom America, Incorporated, here in Henderson, Nevada, just outside of Las Vegas. And just so you know, we gave a disclaimer at the top of the show that anything that's said on this conference call or texted into the webinar side is FlexKom can repurpose for whatever we want to repurpose it for. So we'll definitely take a look at that and then answer any questions that weren't answered by one of the partners in the text chat. We'll do that at the beginning of tomorrow. So thank you all very much, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Larry. Great job, Larry and Larry.
Thanks, Pat Latta. Okay, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.